Imagine discovering the biggest threat to your company isn't your competition. It's information you're not receiving. A CEO once told me,
I have an open door policy. My people tell me everything.
Maybe, maybe not. Because here's what I've learned after decades of working with leaders. Most teams don't lie to CEOs, they filter. And those are two very different things. The question isn't, are people communicating? The question is rather, what aren't they telling you? Most CEOs believe communication is working because information is actually flowing. That's true. Reports arrive, meetings happen, updates get shared, numbers get reviewed, and everything appears transparent. Sounds familiar, right? Well, yet underneath the surface, something else is happening. People are deciding what to say, what not to say, how to say it, when to say it, and whether it's worth saying at all. And the higher your title, the more filtering tends to happen. Not because people are dishonest, because they're human. Why this happens? Think about it. If you're an employee and you disagree with the CEO, what are the risks? If you're a manager and you think leadership is missing something, how confident are you that your opinion will be welcomed? If you're part of the executive team, how often do you soften your message before delivering it? This happens in almost every organization. Not because truth is absent, because hierarchy exists, and hierarchy changes communication. Now, the hidden cost. Here's where it becomes expensive. Most CEOs assume they're making decisions with complete information, yet often they're making decisions based on filtered information. And filtered information creates false confidence. You think you're seeing the whole picture, yet you're only seeing the portion people feel comfortable sharing. And that's dangerous, because many business problems begin long before they become visible. The warning signs were there. The concerns were raised privately. The doubts existed and still do exist. Yet, somehow, they never reached the decision maker. This is one reason isolation at the top is so dangerous. Most people think CEO's isolation is emotional. Loneliness, pressure, responsibility, and those things are real, don't get me wrong. Yet, there's another form of isolation. Information isolation. The gradual separation from ground truth. Further leaders move from day-to-day reality, the more dependent they become on what others choose to share. And that should concern every CEO. Back to our model. Chief Excavation Officer, CEO. One of the most important responsibilities of leadership is not making decisions, it's uncovering information others are unwilling to volunteer. And that requires a different kind of leadership. Not louder, not stronger, yet more curious. The role of a Chief Excavation Officer is to uncover the hidden concerns, the unspoken fears, the unseen risks, and perspectives that never make it to the boardroom. Question most CEOs never ask.
Do we have a problem?
The better question is,
what problem do people see that nobody feels comfortable discussing?
that's a very different conversation. And it's also where most valuable insights often live. So next to our model is the CEO, Chief Expansion Officer. Strongest CEOs don't simply gather information. They expand perspective. They actively look for what they're missing because they understand something most leaders overlook. Every organization has blind spots. Every executive team has blind spots. Even every CEOs have blind spots. The only question is, do you know where yours are? Here's the moment that changed everything. One of the biggest shifts I see in high-performing CEOs is when they stop asking, what do I know, and start asking, what don't I know? That question changes leadership because now the goal is no longer confirmation, it's discovery. So here's the challenge. Most CEOs cannot identify their own blind spots, not because they're incapable, because that's the nature of blind spots. That's why we call them blind spots. You cannot see them from the inside your own perspective, which means the question isn't whether they exist. The question is, how much are they costing you? So this week, ask yourself, if my team was completely honest with me, what might they tell me that I'm not hearing today? Don't answer it immediately. Sit with it, because the answer may reveal far more than you expect. The greater risks facing many CEOs isn't what they know, it's what they don't know. The concerns they never hear, the perspectives they never receive, the truth that gets filtered before it reaches them. That's why great CEOs come to me to sharpen their thinking in private so they can execute with precision in public. I promise progress. And if this conversation made you wonder what you might be not seeing, well, you know where to find me. Take action and click the link in the description, and let's explore those insights together. Make it a great day.